Welcome back to Jade's Falcon. I'm Jade. This is my Falcon. Check it out. Hey guys, it's Mick here and welcome back to Jade's Falcon. This is another installment of our engine building saga, right? So this is the engine block that we dropped off to the engine shop after our last video. Now it's had a bit of work done to it. It's been machined, we've got new pistons, we've got a lot of new bits to go on there. This is the clean block as it is. I'll give you guys a bit of a tour. So here it is, here's our engine block. It's all been machined up. You can see down in the cylinders, they're all clean, they're all brand new. Now, the block has been washed of solvents. So we've washed all the solvents off, washed all the metal shavings off. It's been blasted all through the water jackets to clean out any scale as well. The block's been tanked. And as you can see, it's nice and clean. Look how shiny that is. So this is the new, well, not new, but this is our engine block. And it is still a mystery. It is a mystery engine block for anyone who can guess what the engine block is. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. I'm just going to keep putting it together and working on it. But if anyone knows what it is, just drop in the comments. Right guys, as you've just seen, I've gone through and I've gapped all of our rings and then assembled them on the pistons. There were a couple that I did have to adjust the gap on, which I've used a file in the vise and just gently taken a little bit of meat out of either side of the rings until they got the correct clearance. And then I assembled them on the pistons. Now, we've actually got a bit of a dilemma. These are brand new piston rings. They've come from Hastings by the look of it. So all the parts were in this box. They're all brand new. They were packaged, and I've opened them up. And throughout assembling and gapping these rings, I've found one of them actually has a casting imperfection. So I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that or not, but you can see there, if you can, there's actually a chunk of material missing from this ring. Now I reckon that's going to compromise the integrity of this ring. So I'm gonna say that that's no good, which means that we're gonna need to try and get ourselves a replacement ring. So I'm gonna chase that up now and see what I can find out. Hopefully we can get a new one. If not, well, then we might have to buy an entire box just for one ring. You never know, but I'm going to chase that up now. Once I've sort of got a yes or no answer with what we're doing with the rings, I'll probably start assembling the rest of the block. So it'll be time to just put the crank in. And once the crank's in, then we can start sliding some pistons in and bolting them up to the crank as well. So I'll keep you guys posted with what's going on with this defected piston ring. And in the meantime, we'll keep putting this block back together. Righto guys, with all but one of our pistons assembled with the piston rings and on the con rods, we're going to move on to putting the crank in the block of the engine. So I'm going to need to turn it over, remove the caps that are already on from when it got bored, and then we'll get our crank, clean it up, line all our bearings up in there one by one and start assembling it. Great news, guys. I've just had a haircut. No, I do have some better news for you, however. Right here in this package are a replacement set of rings. So the supplier has been fantastic to deal with the defective ring that we had that I showed you guys on camera earlier on. And what they've done is it appears that they've sent out a whole new pack of rings. I don't think you can just get the rings as a singular item. So I'm going to open this up now. We'll crack into it and we'll have a look. See, I don't even know if these are right yet, but we're going to open it up together, guys. We're going to go on this journey together. It looks good so far. This is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. We'll make sure it's the same part number as the rings that we got earlier. So if I were to compare the two, part numbers, yep, look good. Look at that. Another set of rings, 60 thou oversized. This is great news, guys. This is great. So we've got a whole new box of rings for one ring. So we'll have some spares that I don't know if I'll ever use on anything, but hey, you never know. But look at that. There we go, guys. An entire new set. And the ones we need, so the ring that we needed was a number 2 ring. So yeah, we've got a whole bunch of them. So a whole lot of brand new rings. So yeah, this is cool. I'll be able to gaff up these new rings. Ooh. I'll be able to gaff up these new rings, guys. Get that last piston assembled. And once that's done, I will spin the block back over and we will continue installing the crank. So I've recently got a full VRS kit as well. So we should have every gasket and every seal that we need to carry out the rest of putting this engine together. Once I've done this piston, because the block's set up to do it, I'm probably going to just disconnect it from the engine stand. I want to pop the cam plug in before I get carried away doing too many more things. Because once that cam plugs in, which is basically a Welsh plug, then I can just get carried on with the crank, the pistons. We'll pop our cam in after that. We'll do our timing gear. So we'll put the gears back on, we'll put the cog back on, we'll time it up to its timing marks. And then once that's in there, we can put all of our lifters on top of our cam, put the cylinder heads in, the push rods and all the rocker assemblies, and you know, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to gap these rings. Probably just do it quickly off camera because you've seen me do all the other pistons. We know it's good. We know I got our process. We're gapping them using our feeler gauges and making any adjustments. So I'm going to knock those out off camera and then probably knock that plug in off camera. Maybe you guys can watch me muck around with the engine crane. And then we'll carry on with the reassembly. So stay tuned. And just like that, our cam plug is in. I also took the opportunity while the engine block was off the engine stand to just swap around the orientation of our mounting plate because it was hanging too far forwards. And so now our block sits a lot nicer on this stand. It doesn't look like it's about to fall over and hit the ground. So guys, we're going to spin this block over and then we're going to get started putting this crankshaft in. And just like that, we've got our crankshaft in our engine, and all of the main caps are torqued down to spec according to the specification in our book. Everything's lubed up. I've been putting plenty of assembly lube on it. You saw me just put assembly lube on our big ends for our pistons, and I was able to turn the crank over by hand, which is good because you're supposed to get a couple revolutions by hand just to make sure that nothing's binding up, that nothing's fouling or interfering. And so far, so good, guys. We're tracking pretty well. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start sliding our pistons in. So I'm going to just give these bores another quick wipe out with a rag, put just a little bit of oil on the cloth and lightly oil them up, and then we'll one by one get our pistons in and bolt them up to our crankshaft and torque them down. Once they're done and torqued down, we can move on to our lifters, cylinder head. Once that's all put together, we'll have a look at our timing. We're going to set the timing by the book, put our timing gears and our chain back on, and then that should all be timed up nicely. And it'll just be a matter of putting on our final covers, sump, water pump and inlet. So yeah, let's get into it. Righto guys, that's all we've got for you on today's episode. I feel like we've made a fair bit of progress on putting our engine back together. We've got our crank in, we've got our cam in, all of our pistons are now in, everything's torqued up as far as the bottom end goes and that crankshaft. So the next thing to do would be to put the cylinder heads on, to do the timing on the front of the engine, and then once those things are on, we can put our lifters in, our push rods, start setting up our rocker assemblies, the timing cover, pop the sump on, and then we're going to look at things like water pump, thermostat housing and ignition. So we're yet to buy our ignition for the engine. We don't have anything as of yet, so we will need to buy that. But as it sits, we've got all the rest of the bits to put it back together. It's going to be in the new episode. Oh, I've put the oil pump on. I forgot to mention the oil pump earlier in the episode, but we do have it. It is on. I've put the drive gear in this one so that when we do get our distributor that goes down into that, it'll locate into that drive gear and that'll run our oil pump, and then our engine will have lubrication. So guys, if you haven't already guessed it, have another crack and tell me what you think that this engine is, because I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to just keep putting it together, and I'm just not going to tell anyone until, I don't know, and maybe until we put it on the dyno and see the numbers, and if they're good numbers, perhaps we can boast about what the engine is then. But until then guys, just like and subscribe, stick around for this build. Yeah, like I said, have another guess at what you think the engine is, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks for coming.